Awesome, thank you. All right, thank you for joining us this evening for our 88th annual meeting. If you're viewing this meeting online and have any technical issues or are not able to view the full meeting tonight, please check our website at the end of this week to watch the recorded version. We would like to say that we apologize because we were supposed to have an interpreter here tonight, and unfortunately they weren't able to make it. So we apologize for not having them here. But we now ask that you silence your cell phones, and we'll now begin the 88th annual meeting of Northwoods Credit Union. Thank you.
It is my pleasure to call to order the 88th annual meeting of Northwoods Credit Union. Membership meetings are for the purpose of giving us, as members, the opportunity to speak up, to voice our opinions and help determine what is good for strengthening and developing our credit union. In that spirit, we invite all of you here to participate in the proceedings of the evening. I call upon Board Secretary Christine Ringat to verify the proof of the meeting notice was sent to all members in accordance with our bylaws.
I verify that the meeting notice letter was sent to all members of record stating the 88th annual meeting of the Northwoods Credit Union was to be held on Tuesday, May 6th at 7 p.m. at the Cloquet Library.
The first order of business tonight is the roll call of the Board of Directors and Supervisory Committee members.
Chairperson Jeff Fletcher.
Present.
Vice Chairperson Larry Champeau.
Present.
Myself, Secretary Christine Ringat. Treasurer Debbie Larson.
Present.
Director Lisa Falapola.
Present.
Director Nathan Manor.
Present.
Director Darren Gentleman.
Present.
Supervisory Committee Vicki Radke.
President.
Brenda Allanen. And Dakota Koski.
Present.
Christine, have you established whether there is a quorum present?
Yes, there being 94 members in attendance, a quorum has been established. This is a legal meeting.
Thank you. The next item before us is proving the minutes of the last annual meeting. The minutes of the previous annual meeting of the membership can be found on pages 3 and 4 of the annual meeting report that you have. These minutes were reviewed by the Board of Directors at their June and July 2024 board meetings. Are there any corrections or additions to the minutes? Any changes to the minutes? Seeing no hands, there being no changes to the 2024 annual meeting minutes as presented, they are hereby accepted as read. The next item is a report of the Board of Directors. I will be sharing that report with you. My official written report is in the annual report that you have there, but I have several additional comments that I wish to add. The board continues to be dedicated to the credit union's success, making sure proper policies are in place, fiscal performance is good, and that the credit union continues to prepare for the future. We continue to seek ways to better serve you, our member owners. Our ELCO meetings, Asset Liability Committee, led by Chief Financial Officer Matt Farron, again, proved very interesting over the past year. Our discussions often revolved around the economic environment in our country and how changes in the country would affect our credit union now and into the future. We spent a lot of time talking about interest rate risk, inflation, and the Fed meetings. I want to thank my fellow board members for all the work they continue putting into our credit union success. Our board, as it sits before you tonight, has over 82 years of service experience with Northwoods Credit Union. In our previous roles as supervisory committee members, associate board members, or board members. That experience is extremely valuable as we work through the issues that face your credit union, Northwoods Credit Union. We once again, had an awesome management team led by President CEO Doug Wolf. That allows the board to focus on big issues, the big things, the big picture items for the future of our credit union. My numbers are correct. Our current executive management team, listed on page 6 of the annual report, has over 140 years of experience in both credit unions and banking industry. That experience is invaluable and makes the work that they do easy maybe for them, but it makes it a lot easier for the board when you have that type of experience leading the team. In addition, we all know that we have outstanding staff that provide top-notch service to all our members. Be it our member service representatives, our call center employees, loan officers, or behind-the-scenes staff. They all have one goal: provide the best possible service to you, our member owners. Thank you, Doug, for all that you and your team do to continue working for our member owners. I also want to acknowledge the great work done by Vicki and the Supervisory Committee. On behalf of the board, I thank you for your support through all the years. We look forward to many more successful years. That concludes my report to the board and to you, the members. Are there any comments or questions regarding the report to the board? Any questions? Seeing none, the report is received and will be part of the meeting minutes. The next order of business will be a report given by the President, Doug Wolf.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Everybody can hear me okay? Okay. All right, thumbs up, that's good. Staff is used to that, so that's their role. Yeah. Okay. Well, good evening, and thank you for attending our annual meeting. My written report also is in the meeting booklet, and I would like to add a few comments tonight. First and foremost, as always, I want to thank you, our member owners, for supporting your credit union by utilizing our services. We exist for one reason: to help you, our members, help each other through our financial cooperative, Northwoods Credit Union. As a financial cooperative, we operate with the same basic goals, the goal that was in place in 1936 when we were founded. That is to be a vehicle in which neighbors, co-workers, and family members can pool resources together to help your neighbors, your co-workers, and your family members. We do this by taking in deposits and then providing loans and services. As a financial cooperative, we have no shareholders or private investors to be beholden to. As a financial cooperative, you, our depositors, are our member owners. As member owners, it means you have a vested interest in the success of our credit union. To operate in a safe and sound manner, you elect 7 of your peers to represent you and serve on your board of directors. The board of directors, in turn, oversee the executive management team, ensuring the credit union is run soundly and will be around for decades to come. To help ensure that they can fulfill this responsibility, the board of directors every year appoints 3 members to the Credit Union Supervisory Committee who check to make sure our policies are being followed and that annual audits are conducted. So why am I telling you all this? These things you very likely know. I'm telling you this because credit unions are unique and they are important in the financial marketplace. Not just to provide services and loans, but to be an influencer in the banking services in our communities. To keep rates and fees reasonable for our entire community, whether someone banks with us or another financial institution. You see, as a credit union, we have a social mission, a responsibility to serve those of all means, from the well-off to those of modest means, cooperatively caring for each other to improve everyone's financial well-being. And you, as member owners of Northwoods Credit Union, share in this mission. Also, because of our cooperative structure, I can assure you that the credit union movement motto of not for profit, not for charity, but for service is lived every day within our own credit union mission, vision, and values. And that every decision we make is never centered solely on the effect on the bottom line. No, instead our overriding thoughts are, how will this impact our members? Will it help us serve our members better now and in the future? I tell you all of this because as we begin to enter our 90th year of operations, we continue to strive to fulfill that original dream of our founders. So how are we doing financially? Our financial performance in 2024 was very good, with net income of $1.2 million. And our assets at year-end 2024 were just under $176 million. And on a side note, we just this past couple of months, we actually ended at $180 million, so we continue to grow. At the year-end, that left our equity at $14.6 million, giving us a net worth ratio of 8.29%, which may not mean much to you, but it means a lot to me and the credit union, as that net worth ratio has improved over the years and keeps us in the category of well-capitalized by our regulators. While we have no big projects planned in 2024, we will always be looking for ways to improve. And I would like to highlight 3 of our services that I think can be of tremendous value to our members. First, our retirement investment services, who help our members plan for retirement and make investments that are truly right for their situations. And Ed Grondel is in the back, and if you over here on the side, and you should talk to him if you have any questions. But he does a tremendous job for our members. And Jody is around here somewhere. He's his assistant somewhere. Where are you, Jody?
Right here.
Oh, see, okay, there you are. Next, our student loan marketplace. We began this service in 2024, and it is an easy way for our members and their parents to shop for the best private student loans for them, including consolidation student loans. And then there is our partnership with TrueLink Medicare Advisors. TrueLink is a service corporation of our State Credit Union Association, which means that the advice you get from TrueLink Medicare Advisors will always be in what is the best interest for you. And I'm happy to say that Michaela and Chris back there are here to talk about any of those things you would like to know about. But what they do is they help our members navigate the confusing Medicare choices every year. And the advantage we can bring to you, our members in that category, whether you're going on, turning 65 and getting to that age, or whether you're already having Medicare plans, you have to choose every year what you want to do. Well, TrueLink Medicare Advisors acts as a broker, but they don't only represent one company. They represent all the companies that can do business in the state and in the counties we serve. So when they do these reviews with you, they can tell you that based on what your needs are for that coming year, they can tell you what's the best plan for you. And the experience that we and other credit unions throughout the state that use them is that very often they can save you money from what you're currently doing. So again, talk to Michaela and Chris in the back if you have any questions on that. I almost forgot to, Ed asked me to say this, but I forgot with the investment and retirement services. Ed is actually sponsoring a seminar on Thursday evening. What time does it start? Jody, you probably know. 6, right here, right?
Yeah.
And it's going to be on Will's Trusts and Estates. And so I've seen that presentation before. It's very interesting. So if you have any interest in that, please don't hesitate to come down and be part of that. And it's on this Thursday at 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
Okay, right in this room. All right. All right, where was? Oh yeah. I also want to mention that these 3 service offerings span all adult age ranges of our membership and are examples of how we here at Northwoods Credit Union are always looking for ways to help our members' financial well-being through every stage of life. These three services also are not just limited to our own membership. So please let your friends, family, co-workers know of these services and encourage them to use them. You can find more information about these services on our website. Also, let's see, oops, did that, sorry, got ahead of myself. Before I conclude my remarks, I do want to talk a little bit about what is going on in Washington, D.C., and how some of this could impact Northwoods Credit Union and all credit unions. The current economic and political uncertainty is challenging, but we are well positioned to ride out this uncertainty and still be successful. However, the credit union movement faces one of its biggest threats and challenges to our collective future success, our corporate income tax exemption. And I'll explain that a little bit. You see, as a financial cooperative with no stockholders, we have no way to build capital to protect the credit union against unknown future losses other than through earnings. It is because of this member-owner cooperative model and our lack of ways to raise capital, credit unions were granted a corporate income tax exemption in the IRS code. Preserving this exemption is vital to all credit unions. If we are to remain a viable option versus the for-profit banks, who in the end make all decisions based on their bottom lines and what's the best interest of their stockholders, make no mistake, we do pay taxes, a lot of taxes. It is only the corporate income tax that we are exempt from. But this one exemption is really important for us and you, as losing our corporate tax exemption would impact our ability to keep loan rates low, our service fees low, and our ability to influence the local marketplace for financial services, which benefits all the communities we serve. So, do all banks pay corporate income taxes? Well, of the 4,556 banks and savings and loans in the country, 2,200 of them are subchapter S corporations, which means that roughly 52% of the banks in the country pay no corporate income tax. Their income and expenses are passed on to their stockholders that often can reduce the stockholders' personal income tax liability. So why am I talking about this? Our tax exemption is being threatened due to Congress discussing policy changes to reduce taxes in some sectors while looking for ways to increase revenue to offset some of these policy priorities. Our credit union corporate income tax exemption is being discussed for elimination. This would have a direct impact on how our credit union, Northwoods Credit Union, could operate in the future. So, it is important that our congressional delegation understands the importance of the credit union corporate income tax exemption and how it could impact the credit union. So, if you want, this is something, I've been in the credit union space now for 43 years. This is probably one of the top 2 times where this was a problem that could affect us for the future and how we operate. So if you want to help us in this effort, consider signing up for our state association's grassroots education and action team, or we call it our GREAT team. There's sign-up cards in the back of the room. Crystal's back there. She's our leader in this effort, and she can tell you how this works. But basically, if you do the sign-up cards, and you do sign up for this, you will occasionally get an email asking you to send a message to your political representatives via the click of a button with pre-worded messages in support of your credit union. Responding is voluntary, but by signing up, you can also stay informed about occasional issues that are important to Northwoods and all credit unions. You can also disenroll at any time. So if you're so inclined, we really appreciate if you could help us out in this effort to make sure that our legislators in Washington understand the importance of issues that affect how we serve you. So enough of that stuff, okay? I don't know, a big downer there, I didn't want to do that, but it's important. It was important to talk about that. So if you could help us by signing up, we would certainly appreciate that. As I conclude my remarks, I would like to thank our board of directors for their support and leadership, the supervisory committee for their great work, and I give a big thank you to my management team and our staff. Without all these individuals, I could not do my job, and we could not bring you, our members, the outstanding services we offer. And as I conclude, my most sincere thank you to you all, our member owners. And I thank you for your membership in your credit union, Northwoods Credit Union. Mr. Chairman, that concludes my remarks. Okay, now that I made the room silent for you, that's
Who's got a question for him? Any questions or comments? Off of Doug's report. Thank you, Doug, for that report. His report has been received and will be placed into the minutes. Next up, we will hear a report of the Supervisory Committee that will be given by Supervisory Committee Chairperson Vicki Radke.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I'm Vicki. The Supervisory Committee works in conjunction with the Board of the Directors to monitor and review the credit union's performance and controls. Our job is to verify that operational and financial functions are performed in compliance with generally accepted accounting principles, federal and state laws and regulations, and within the parameters of board policies, and that reasonable internal controls are in place. To assist the committee in meeting its obligations, the committee retains the services of several outside firms to perform certain ongoing internal audit procedures within the operations of the credit union, to perform the annual verification of member accounts, and an opinion audit. The latest opinion audit was as of 9/30/2024. The financial information in this annual audit is unaudited. The reports from these independent firms are reviewed by the committee, reported to the board and management, and the committee follows up on any findings. In addition to the work performed by these firms, the committee does additional procedures. Based on the above audit procedures and the ongoing work of the committee, the Supervisory Committee is pleased to report that in 2024, no material concerns were revealed. The committee expresses its gratitude to the Board of Directors, the credit union management, and the staff for their cooperation and assistance during the year. And I just want to say, it sounds like a little thing. When these guys show up to operations, they disrupt daily services. The staff does an amazing job. They've given a long list of things to pull together and provide, and it's no small feat that there is no material findings. Thank you.
Thank you, Vicki. Any questions for Vicki? I got to agree with Vicki. As a board member, when we get that audit report from an auditor or the other things that are done and we find out there's no problems, yes, we're happy campers. It's just a great thing, and we really wind up happy with that. And that's just no thanks to the fine staff that's in charge of doing all the daily things that need to occur. And they do a bang-up job. And when I talk to those auditors, they're giving me a call, asking me questions, and they always comment how great the staff is to work with, and they answer all the questions and get them all the information they need when they're asked. So, great job, staff. Keep up the great work. It is appreciated by your board and no doubt by all of you as our member owners. At this time, I will turn over the meeting to the president for the purpose of discussing board compensation rates. Doug.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As you remember, last year we raised the rate of the rate of compensation for the board. We did it over 2 years. We don't have any recommendations this year other than what the current rate is. So we'll hold on. I'm a little ahead of myself here. Okay, so I should go back to the script. Each year, the annual meeting of the membership votes on board and supervisory committee compensation. The current rate of pay is $50 per hour, which was set at last year's annual meeting. Is there any discussion from the floor? If not, we will need a motion to set the board and committee compensation effective at the end of this meeting until the end of the 2026 annual meeting of the members of Northwoods Credit Union. Do I have a motion? Jim, no.
I'll move that we continue at the current rate for the next year.
Okay, is there a second for, okay?
I'll second.
All right. So we have a motion and a second for the compensation rate to remain at the $50 per hour. Are there any questions on the motion? Any questions on the motion? Any questions on the motion? Hearing none, all those who are in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Mr. Chairman, that's it. Congratulations.
Thank you. Next on our agenda is elections. Excuse me, new business first. Is there any new business that should be brought forward? Any new business? I gotta stick to the script here too. No, seeing no new business, next up is elections. So there are 2 seats up for election in 2025, and each of those seats is a 3-year term. The 2 incumbents were placed into nomination by the nominating committee, and there were no other nominations from the committee, nor were there any nominations by petition from members of the credit union. Being I am one of those incumbents, I cannot run this election, so we now turn it over to Doug again.
It's always good to be needed. Okay, for the 2 seats up for election, given that there are only 2 nominees for the 2 board of directors seats, I declare by acclamation the election of Jeff Clutter and Lisa Pollock to 3-year terms on the board of directors. Please help me in congratulating Jeff and Lisa.
You did good.
Okay,
We'll give it to Kate.
okay. We'll fix it now when we're almost done. Here we go.
A little better.
All right, we have a special announcement tonight. So you may have seen on our website, social media, or in our newsletter that we launched the Northwoods Credit Union Scholarship Program this year. Each year, we will award 2 scholarships, each valued at $500 per year for up to 4 years, totaling $2,000 per student. Members planning to attend an accredited school, college, or university this coming fall were invited to apply through our website, with the application period closing mid-April. Our donation committee met last week to review some applications and select the recipients. We were very pleased with both the number and the quality of applicants, and we are proud to support our youth in their educational journeys. I'm happy to announce that the recipients of our scholarships for the 25-26 school year are Janaea Jurek and Willow Putnam. And Janaea was able to join us here tonight, so congratulations. I believe Willow is in the middle of finals week right now, but she says thank you. So, both students have outstanding resumes, and we wish them all the best as they begin their college careers. Thank you.
Next up, we have one final important announcement for you, our members. Over 18 months ago, this man over here to my left let the board know of his intention to retire at the end of this year. So, since he informed us of his intentions, the board of directors has worked through all the steps that would be needed to hire a new president CEO. That included, of course, reviewing and updating the job description, meeting with a consultant who specialized in job searches, who then helped us create an up-to-date job posting, formulate interview questions, and helped us learn more questions that would help us learn more about our applicants and also help us brush up on techniques for completing our search successfully. Obviously, as board members, we do not conduct CEO searches on a regular basis, and we hope that we don't have to. So we took our time. We thank Doug for giving us the 18 months notice or more, and we worked slowly and diligently to do our best to go through the process of hiring a new CEO. The position was posted, and we completed all the steps that were needed. The board is extremely thankful to Doug for giving us the long lead time, and we thank him for all that he has done for Northwoods Credit Union over the past 6 years. All totaled, as Doug mentioned earlier, he has been involved with credit unions for 43 years. Thank you, Doug, for all that you've done for Northwoods Credit Union and all the credit unions. Please help me give him. Again, thank you, Doug, for all that you've done for us. It's been fantastic working with you. With that, I am pleased to announce that effective tomorrow, May 7th, 2025, our current Chief Lending Officer, Terry Byrne, will become our new President CEO. Doug will remain as a Senior Vice President through the end of the year. Doug will be assisting Terry as he takes over the reins of the credit union, and he will also be working on several special projects for the credit union. Please help me congratulate Terry as he assumes the duty of leadership of our credit union. Terry, come forward.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman, and the Board of Directors for giving me this opportunity. I'm really excited to get started. Sad to see Doug go, though, but I'm still excited to get going. But, you know, people have been asking me all day, staff and board members, are you excited about this? And I said yes, but you know what? This day or this meeting should still be about Doug. And so, you know, when you came here, Doug, you had large shoes to fill. You really did. Barb Brown, I know she's here, and I'm going to call attention to you. Raise your hand. She was the previous CEO, and she'd been here since there was, I don't know, four employees? 4 employees at the credit union, so you had some big shoes to fill. But somehow now that you're leaving, you know, I feel like the shoes are even bigger, you know, and I consider that a huge accomplishment for Doug as well. But on the bright side, even though I have larger shoes to fill now, I get to build upon the legacy that both Barb and Doug have left behind. You know, we're a growing credit union, we're financially strong, and we have a great credit union culture, and our future is bright. So thank you for your leadership, your guidance, for all of us, all staff, and for the board as well. I'm sure we all feel the same way. And sad to see you go, but I wish you well on your retirement. And probably most of all, I hope your search for a hobby is fruitful. So, he always says the credit union is my life, and because I don't have any hobbies. Well, guess what happens at the end of the year? You're going to have to find some hobbies. So I wish your search for hobbies goes really well. So, you know, as I look out, it's like I feel like the pressure's on. It has nothing to do with being the CEO, but I'm the last thing between you and cash drawings. So I'm going to try to keep this as short as I can. A little bit about myself. I was born and raised in Duluth. I'm a Duluth Central grad. I went to college at the University of Wisconsin-Stevens Point, got a degree in business administration and managerial accounting. And then after college, I got some jobs working for some finance companies, and those jobs were not very fulfilling. I didn't feel like I was helping people. I was an only child, and so my parents started having some health issues. So back in 1991, I ended up moving back as close as I could to Duluth, and I happened to find a job at this credit union. Some of you may remember it. It was Moose Lake Federal Credit Union back in the day. And I started as a loan officer, and it was at that time that I fell in love with credit unions, and that love affair still goes on today. I've been married to my wonderful wife, Kara, who happens to be sitting there, so I can call her out, raise your hand, for 33 years. I have 3 adult children, Adrian, Aaron, Andrew. I never call them by the right name when they're at home. And at one time they were all gone, and then they all came back, and we're still working on that part of it. But so we're trying to get there. Some of you may know me from the hockey end of things too. I've been coaching hockey in Moose Lake, either from the mite level all the way up to high school for the last 33 years. I retired from coaching last year. So as long as I've lived in Moose Lake, and as long as I've been working for the credit union down there, and now Northwoods Credit Union, 33 years, I've been coaching hockey. It's going to be an interesting winter. I hope we still get along this winter when I hang around the house. So, I believe in being active in the community. I like to work a lot with youth, and so you'll see me out and about. I encourage you to stop me and say hi. I want to meet as many people up here as I can, and looking forward to that opportunity. Our future as a credit union is really, really bright, but it doesn't come without some challenges. I wanted to, thank goodness you went through all the ugly stuff when you talked about the taxation thing, but I wanted to just brush on that a little bit again. You know, there's only been 1 or 2 times in my career of 34 years in credit unions that I felt that it was important that we let our legislators know where we stand as far as credit union industry, and this is one of them. Taxation just strikes at the heart of who we are as credit unions. We're formed for not for profit, but for service, and with the philosophy of people helping people. If we get taxed, we run the risk of solely searching for technology and efficiencies at the expense of what we do best, which is creating relationships, investing in our communities, much like this Northwoods Credit Union meeting room. We'd love to do this in all of our communities, and then giving out the best service that we possibly can. That is all at risk, and so Crystal's back there, so we want you to visit there. I won't say that often because I don't think politics and business, credit union business should mix very often, but this is one of those times. That being said, balancing technology and service is always the toughest thing for us. I talk a lot about, again, I do a lot of work with youth, and I talk a lot about the difference about being connected or having a connection. And they are 2 very different things. They sound roughly the same, but when I ask my youth that I work with, what are some of your favorite memories? Somehow they never answer, you know, it was that one night you sent that snap out. It's always, remember the vacation we took together, remember when we all gathered at the park, or remember when we were all here. It's when you gather up as a community and you talk to each other and you find out things about yourself. Those are the connections that keep you coming back. And that's what we try to do as a staff here at Northwoods Credit Union, and we're going to stay on that path regardless of what happens. But what makes us successful as a small northern Minnesota credit union is the connections that we make with our members. What keeps you coming back? You know, it's probably, I can't imagine it's always the technology. It's the fact that when you walk in, you see somebody you know, we smile, we sit down, we listen to your needs, and we help you the best we can. And that's what keeps you coming back, and that's what differentiates, I believe, our credit union, even from many of the other credit unions that are out there. That's where I come from, as making connections. So as you can see, I'm sort of rambling on, but when I see you, I'll probably talk to you for a long time. Kira's waited hours upon hours for me to get out of a big room of people because I like to talk to people and I like to get to know who they are. Our biggest risk, I think, is credit unions is trying to stay relevant in all of your lives. Technology, you're hooked up with us 24 hours a day, remote deposit capture, internet, mobile banking, and all those kind of things. But you know what? Don't let the board know, but you can get the same products we have everywhere. It's everywhere. It's not unique to us. Our products that we have are available everywhere. What keeps you coming back to Northwoods? And I hope it's our community focus, our willingness to create relationships with our members and be involved in the community and invest. And that's what makes us successful. I want Northwoods to be I don't just want Northwoods to be a place where you have to do business. I want you guys to do business with Northwoods because you love to do business with us. And those are two different things. And so that's all I have to say tonight. I'll be happy to talk with anybody tonight, but if you see me out in the community, and I'll be around because I love being involved, stop me, say hi, and let's get to know each other, and looking forward to, once again, looking forward to the opportunity. So thank you very much. Ready to get started. Yep.
We have a very special presentation that needs to occur at this point in time. We're a few hours premature, probably like 12, but Doug?
Yep. Don't get too excited, it's not like a car or something. I just thought it'd be kind of a nice thing to officially pass the baton on to Terry. I have your new name badge as President and CEO. You can put it on tomorrow morning.
Once again, let's give a round of applause to Doug for his service to us. Again, thank you, Doug, for all you've done for us, and thank you, Terry. We look forward to working with you. At this point, there being no other business, I will declare our meeting adjourned, and I will invite Kate up here to provide our door prizes. So thank you again all for being here. We look forward to being your credit union of choice for many years in the future.
All right, we have 12 cash prizes tonight. We have 3 of each.